We were filming in Torquay with the Pythons, and we stayed in this hotel called Glen Eagles. And the guy who ran it was the rudest man I've ever met at any point in my life. And after a few days, a very few days, 3 or 4, the other Pythons upped and offed and went to stay in another hotel where it was fine. And Connie'd come out to do some filming. So she and I, for some reason, stayed on in the hotel. It was partly laziness, but I have an odd feeling there was something going on at the back of my mind.
Manuel, there is too much butter on those trays. There is too much butter on those trays.
No, senor. What? Not on those trays. No, sir. Uno, dos, tres.
Round about the time we started writing FawIty T0wers, I'd noticed that if you went into most London restaurants at that time, 70s, you were very, very lucky if you got what you'd ordered, because almost none of the waiters could either understand or speak English. Now, this was not their fault. This is very important. It was the fault of the owners who were saving money.
Oh, I don't know why you wanted to hire him, Basil.
Because he's cheap and keen to learn, dear.
So that meant that you were constantly struggling with trying to get what you wanted on the menu, and pointing at it was never enough. So I deliberately made Manuel Spanish because most of them seemed to me to be from Spain. And he's always trying to be helpful.
Mr. FawIty, Mr. FawIty!
You see, if he was sullen, or didn't want to be helpful, or sabotaged Basil, it wouldn't be funny. It's the fact that he's desperately trying to help and still messing it up. That's what makes it funny.
Look, shut up.
Eh?
Shut up.
Oh, si, shut up. Yes, I understand.
Well,
Yes.
will you please shut up?
Si, I shut up.
Now, while we're away...
Shut up.
Shut up! Now, while we're away, Don, clean the windows. Oh, look, cuando nosotros somos away. What's away in Spanish?
Huh?
You know, away. Away!
Oh, si.
No, not we're away. Clean the windows.
Green.
No, look. Clean the windows. Clean the windows. Morning, FawIty. Morning, Major. The window.
I mean, he's immensely strong. I was about perhaps a couple of pounds lighter than I am now, which is 10 stone 3, something like 10 stone 2. But he lifted me up with wonderful ease, because he's got muscles, and you never realize that.
Now, that's how an Englishman would do it, you see. Now, a German would go. No, that's enough for tonight. All right, we're going with your training in the morning.
He was less than gentle at times. I said to him once, I said, John, I've got him a quiet moment. I said, do you actually have to hit me quite so hard? I mean, you're lovely and gentle in rehearsal, and even during the dress rehearsal, but, you know, with that audience and the cameras and the excitement of it, can you just cool it a bit, because it's awful.
Get a clean one.
It's clean now.
It's dirty now.
He said to me, what are you complaining about, Andrew? This is not a long run in the West End, this is once, now pull yourself together. So I complained, but he forgave me.
Wonderful.
This Basil's wife. This Basil. This smack on head.
I think there's 2 factors at work in a lot of this kind of comedy. One is recognition. It is exaggerated, the behavior, but there's also a genuine truth to it, and people recognize it. They may have recognized it a bit in themselves. More often they recognize it in other people. But there's something else to it, which is that if you can operate in areas where the audience is not entirely comfortable, where they're just a tiny bit edgy, there is always more laughter.
But what are you doing? What are you doing?
I told her the 6 week you get 20 years for this. The kippers, oh my God.
Mr. FawIty, he's been dead for hours. Mr. FawIty, he's cold. He's been dead for hours. He must have died in his sleep. Mr. FawIty.
What?
He hasn't touched those clippers. Well, look. Feel him.
What?
Feel him.
He's stone cold.
Yes.
Oh, joy. Oh, thank you. Oh, isn't it wonderful? I'm so happy. Hooray!
A very great friend of mine called Andrew Lehman was a restaurateur at the Savoy, and I said, Andrew, what was the main problem that you had at the Savoy? Simple question I was asked, and he said, getting rid of the stiffs. I couldn't believe it, because he didn't bat an eyelid, and he started explaining to me how a lot of elderly folk used to check into the Savoy and kind of take a few pills because they knew it would be beautifully handled. They could rely on the Savoy to do it beautifully. And so there were a lot of occasions, it was by no means rare for people to go in, stiff, all right, how do we get it, him, her, into the service lift without any of the other guests being scared. So, regular problem. And that's incidentally why the stiff is called Mr. Lehman in the episode.
Oh, it's all right, leave it. No, leave it, it's heavy.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. Put them back.
No, don't bother, we can manage.
Oh, it's no bother.
No, leave it alone.
I know. If I just fold them like this.
Yes, go away. Move.
I'll do it, Miss Tibbs.
No, it's all right. Ah! He's dead!
It's all right, Miss Tibbs.
Shut up.
Oh, my God.
Slap her. Once she's hysterical, slap her.
Murder!
Slap her. Oh, spiffing. Absolutely spiffing. Well done. 2 dead, 25 to go.
People are nice enough to say FawIty T0wers is timeless, but it will date. It's just a question of when. And you see, I grew up in a place that was like a small version of Torquay. I grew up in Weston-super-Mare, and I knew that slightly sleepy, rather polite, slightly respectable seaside atmosphere. And I think in a funny kind of way, there's probably quite a lot in FawIty T0wers that was 50s and 60s too. I think it's the fact that it's funny that still makes people, still makes people laugh, that they haven't noticed it's dated, but eventually it will.
In keeping with the finest sitcom tradition,